Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We tapped in. Salute world. It's the one and only. As for myself, we're gonna get started shortly. This is the Master's Table. Talking about defeating your inner enemy. Every day it's a battle. Today we're here to win. Let's tap in. We get started shortly. I never did a break. It was me all of a sudden me finding myself like that nigga for ducking me. Putting in work trying to get that break. Dirty bad energy sucking me out of the top. Some niggas I fuck with this thing was on great. I heard the top of me. I was up here to see heavy niggas up the pain in my brain. And I was having me. I ain't no legacy from nigga niggas so comfortable that he don't realize he's having me. I wanna see the best in me. I've been working till there's nothing left in me. Trying to get the label to invest in me. I understand humble, even though I said I never would. I figured it's best for me. I got high hopes for a lot of things. But the lungs making good success for me. Put the liquor down, I've been last money. Got my baby mama left the last corner. I've been praying with the shitty test for me. I've been praying with the shitty test for me. I've been praying, hoping that the people feel me when I try. That would be the best for me. Send the music to the game, gotta put it to the test. Red gotta do it. 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 Red gotta do it.
At Fry's, we know the minute a tomato.
Let's do one more song. We'll go ahead and tap in. Coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. I am C Base 5. I am the one and only master myself. And, I get the opportunity to tap in every single cycle, at least one time every single cycle. I'm here live on IMC TV. So if you are tapping in here on IMC TV, welcome. If you don't know anything about me, I go live every single day, all right? I've been committed for the last month for going live every single day. I've been on this creative process for years at this point. And, I'm one of the leaders within IMC Nation. There are several of us, located all across the country. However, today is a new opportunity to tap in, level up in consciousness, level up in, conversation, level up in, our imaginative process and our real life world experience, right? Because, I've been putting into application these different techniques and principles and things of that nature that I've been studying for, for years. You get what I'm saying at this point in time. So we're gonna get started shortly. I'm just tapping on the song and then, we'll go ahead and get started. That was about time. He's a persona, flashing paper on the crib, like a diploma. Graduated from Brooks to a boss and a business owner. But you know about that story, that crush. Then I'm working in the crib and slipping by the gush. Just to get a breeze, you niggas only see the wins and have the boss. Guys see the compromise and paying with it costs. My niggas know. You gotta ride on to your side, my nigga pick a roll. The abs get in the way and we can pick and roll. I love this music shit for real, man. This ain't shit to show. And show my brother, man, this shit to show off to the zone. Love you, nigga, you beneficial. Cause if you wasn't, boy, it would never been the issue. If all I'm in the issue, it ain't only for the issue. And we back out to stay in touch by the niggas mission. Go like the way. I'm trying to be mature, but it's so sad again. Talking down on my name won't be alright again. I promise when you gon' left, you gon' talk right again. But when it's on my mind, I see a bigger picture. Don't flex on them niggas out there trying to get it with you. Cause shit get lonely in these streets, dog. And every nigga ain't your homie in these streets, dog. I'm in a bag. Whatever shit I never had, and yo, my bitch is bad. It's gonna be hard for you to bag. I know some people mad. I had to leave them in the palace. Nice guys always been this last. And these days, These days, gotta light some incense. It's the lonely and not the last thing. These days, You know, she want different nowadays. If you my dog, then I'm around for you, that shit forever. We can fight, but let's just stick together. Just don't ever stab me in my back and feel my nigga is whatever. The way I look at you from that point, gonna stick forever. Cause some people love and trust me, I ain't sorry about it. They try to reach you that they get, now they salty about it. They try to talk, they try to call me about it, but I ain't trying to talk. You lost your password, but I signed you off. Honey, you look because I see what it means. These hoes ain't loyal, they creeping with teams. Go, you creep with the beam. And that's a bar that you wouldn't want to see what it means. So it's gonna work for everybody, but say it, please. Salute, world. Once again, this is the one and only Master myself. What an honor it is to tap in with you live and in person. Well, as close as we can get, right? I am coming to you live, like I said, from IMC Base 5. This is Phoenix, Arizona, Tempe specifically, right? But we're here located, and we've gathered together for another elevated event, right? I operate with the intelligence, knowing and understanding that no moment of my life is ordinary. This is another extraordinary moment, all right? So welcome to what we call the Master's Table, all right? Today's topic specifically is defeating your inner enemy. But first and foremost, before we go deep into that topic today, we're going to talk about the disclaimers, right? We're going to go through the disclaimers and go ahead and go through the details as to what it is you need to know before you interact here. First and foremost, knowing and understanding everything that I do and say here. And when you see me, I'm not just me, I'm me and all my brothers. Everything I do and say here is done under the banner of entertainment, all right? So don't take what it is I say seriously. Number two, this is for adults and adults only, all right? No kids in the room. If there are kids in the room, I encourage you to remove them from the room or remove yourself from the room. Number three, do not break the laws of the land you're tuning in from, wherever it is that you are. Number four, know and understand that you are an adult. That means that you're responsible for your own actions, all right? And number five, I am Master myself, and I'm here and I'm ready to serve. And I'm here to serve those who I consider masters, right? If you are here, you are considered a master, and nothing less than that, all right? So let's go ahead and tap in, man. What an honor it is, once again, to tap in with you. Look, I do this every single day, right? Every single day I'm streaming. So if you want to tap in with me, I encourage you to hit the link in the bio, the description down below. And we'll go ahead and tap in and, expand that way, right? I go live on my YouTube channel. It's called The Self Code, all right? So if you're interested in that, of course, tap in with me there. Every single day I go live, and every single day I grow. Every single day I'm providing insights, gems, things of that nature. Defeating your inner enemy. What does that even mean, right? I live in a universe. I live in one verse, if you will, right? Where I get to decide what my experience is on a day-to-day basis, right? So today, I'm experiencing something that's as a result of the things in which I was creating or tapping into yesterday, right? Today, I'm creating my tomorrow, right? And this is a little recipe of how you can begin to be aware of your co-relationship with your world, right? Because each of us are correlating to our world, and each of us are expanding in consciousness, knowing that, I have somebody else that's also seeking growth, seeking evolution that's around me, right? So because I am surrounding myself with other individuals that are also looking to grow, right? Hence, that's why we call this the Master's Table. Anytime that there's somebody else that also wants to grow, then now I'm doubling the effect in which I'm creating in my world, right? But this happens as a result of you being clear on what's happening in your internal world, right? I've studied, the laws of our universe, if you will, the laws of this, material world, which are, the seven higher laws of alchemy, 7 laws of alchemy, 7 laws of the universe. We are understanding these from, the book called The Kabbalion, right? But there's a space inside of you where there's constantly a duality that's taking place, right? There's the yin and the yang. There's the light and the dark. There's the the shadow, and then there's the expression of you, right? The light, right? I was trying to find a different word for light, but essentially that's the dynamic that's constantly taking place. So being aware of that, you have an opportunity to recognize that there's, oftentimes there's this internal battle that's taking place, right? And so with this internal battle that's constantly taking place, it's constantly shifting and evolving and growing, maybe that's not the right word, growing. There's this inner battle that's happening inside of you, right? That's constantly
spinning, right? It's constantly circulating. It's constantly presenting itself. There's a light side and a dark side in every single moment, right? In this moment, I'm showing you the light, right, as I'm expressing myself. Now, there could be a dark side or a yin side to me, to where I'm just receiving. I'm just here and I'm just, inputting, receiving whatever information or knowledge it is. Like I literally just been doing that for the last, 2 hours, 2.5 hours actually, tapping in with, our mastermind meetings that we, listen to for our mentor, AZD. Now, this movement that is IMC Nation, we are collectively aiming to grow ourselves every single day. So in that process, as you go through your personal process of growth, your personal evolution, you're gonna come across this dynamic, this internal battle, once again, that's happening on a consistent basis. And once you're aware of it, you can begin to shift it. You can begin to create changes. You can begin to evolve, right? Based off of your awareness of what's happening on the inside of yourself, right? And so this is a consistent process. This is a consistent evolution that I encourage all of not just IMC Nation, but I encourage every person that comes to tap in here. I believe if you're here and you're watching, you are IMC Nation, right? So I encourage all of IMC Nation to go ahead and take on the due diligence, the responsibility, the ability to respond differently in life by becoming aware of this internal world, this internal frame, this internal battle that's taking place, right? So there's an awareness that you have available to you that maybe you have no idea of what you can tap into or what you are capable of, right? The moment that you take on that responsibility once again, right? So there's an inner battle that's taking place, and that's what I call, your inner enemy, if you will, right? There's an internal, conflict. There's an internal resolution. And I'm speaking from experience, right? When I speak here, I'm not speaking as a man that has, everything solved and, I understand this and I understand that and so on and so forth. No, I'm figuring out as I go, right? So I'm not here to speak as if I know everything, but I am here to say that, at this moment in time, I'm aware that I literally have an inner enemy. I have this duality that's constantly taking place within myself. And so I'm in the process of becoming more and more aware of this, right? And you may say, why do you have this inner enemy? Well, it's, coupling the programming, right, of our environment, the programming of, the conditioning, if you will, from all of society, from all the language, from everything that's external, right? There's just so much external, influence that I could be influenced by if I were to fall subject to that. However, at this point, I've been consistently taking responsibility, meaning at least the last 3 years, if not longer than that. I've been a lifelong martial artist, so I've been aware of this kind of relationship for quite some time. But I'm aware on a different level, a different degree, right here, right now. Today is Monday, May 8th of 2023. At this point in time, this is an opportunity for me to become most aware, right, of the fact that I've been in this battle. I've been in this dynamic of life to where I just haven't been clear. I haven't been, I literally haven't been clear. I've been drifting. I've been, like one of my favorite books. I think I have gone through the whole book a couple times, but one of my favorite books to tap into is a reference is Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, right? And in that book, there's this dynamic that's taking place to where, the narrator, is playing the role of, somebody that's interviewing the devil, right? And so, he's essentially pulling on, the devil's insights as to say, like, man, what is it that you've been doing to help you distract, people from their purpose and distract people from, what is they're here to do on this planet, on this earth, and why have you been so successful? Well, in that dialogue, I became aware of so many different things, right? First and foremost, knowing and understanding that, like, I've been having this relationship with, you can call it God and devil on the inside of yourself, right? There's this correlationship to where, I grew up a Christian, right? So I grew up understanding that there is a light side to life and there's a dark side to life. We call that God and we call that devil. We call it Jesus and we call it Satan, or whatever it is that you want to call it, right? However it is that you describe that relationship. But once again, this is, for me, it's a true insight to what's happening on the inside of us, right? Because it's as within, which is the I want to say a third or a fourth, universal law, which is the law of correspondence. But the understanding is as within, so without, right? As above, so below, right? As below, so above. As without, so within, right? It goes both ways, if you will, right? And so recognizing that there is this dichotomy that's constantly taking place, right? There's the yin and the yang once again, right? The yin and the yang is coupled in that symbol, right? To where there's a light side, ingressed into the dark side, and within the dark side, there's a little light, small little light bubble, I was gonna say, not bubble, but dot, you know what I'm saying? That symbolizes that even within all the dark, there is some light. And within all the light, there is some dark, right? That's what allows that relationship to be, right? And that goes along with what's the other law though? And it's not the law of polarity, but or maybe it is, I don't know. But essentially there's this co-relationship that's constantly taking place once again, right? So it's the fact that there is God is what validates the fact that there is the devil, right? And so the fact that we have what I'm calling the inner enemy is evident, right? Or it points to the fact that because there's an inner enemy, there's also an inner savior, if you will, right? Like there's not one side without the other. Is my point in saying that, right? Like each one comes with the other. That really is the law of polarity, right? There's a light side and then there's a dark side. There's a hot and then there's a cold. You get what I'm saying? There's these opposites, right? And once again, and if I was to tell you, steps on how you could personally defeat your inner enemy, well, what I recently talked about on one of my live streams, I highly encourage y'all to go tap in. I've been dropping some major gems on my personal YouTube. It's called The Self Code, and I've been creating there for quite some time, like I said, for at least a month. And my intention is continuously build out, the program, things of that nature that I've been intending to do for years, really. And now I'm finally putting it. Let me show y'all my whiteboard. I'm putting it into form here. Camera don't want me to show y'all. But I'm putting it into form here, right, to where I'm constantly developing this program to where I can be able to share with you my personal processes of how I go about doing this. However, what I was recently talking about was, specifically the process of shifting your awareness to exactly what it is that you want in this life, right? It's not what you don't want, because you don't want to. The truth of the fact is you don't want to focus on your battles, if you will, your struggles in this life. You don't want to face, the things that you got to grow through constantly. Like that's I can tell you, because like for myself, like, man, I don't want to face, we went, we have this term, we are men that practice our philosophy, if you will. So we have this term within game. Game is, going out, being social and connecting. Really, it's the game of social dynamics, if you will, right? And learning how to create this balance of life to where you're constantly engaging with life and you're aware of the environment. You're creating these dynamics to where you're able to connect with other people without violating other people. You get what I'm saying? So we went out yesterday and, we had several opportunities to really become aware of the fact that, this is a struggle. Like I had to become aware of the fact that, like, man, it's uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? To interact with somebody that maybe doesn't want to be interacted with, or has these filters on you, like, oh man, it's a black man, and what I'm saying, this black man's over here trying to talk to me, and so on and so forth. Like I have to face that. I have to face the struggle of getting out and engaging with people, to the extent to where I'm now in a position to grow. I'm in a position to evolve. I'm in a position to become the best version of myself. And the way that I'm going to do that is by facing those battles and facing those struggles, if you will, right? So, in order to defeat your inner enemy, you're going to have to face that inner enemy, right? You're going to have to face that, what we call the shadow self. You get what I'm saying? You're going to have to look in the mirror and really, address the person. Now, I'm literally looking in the mirror right now. You're going to have to address, the person of, that is the shell of you. You get what I'm saying? The dynamic of you. And I guess maybe it's not the shell of you, because it is an integral part of you. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's important that you have a dark side, actually, right? I'm not saying to alleviate your enemy that's within you. No, it's your enemy that creates the hero. It's your enemy that creates the opposite of that, right? The savior, if you will, right? within yourself. So you need to have that, right? But in order to defeat that, you're actually going to have to shift your focus and shift your consciousness to what? And this, like, not just this moment, but every single moment, you get what I'm saying? You're making a choice to either focus on, man, the words that come to mind literally, because I've been tapped in, is you can focus on being a bitch, or you can focus on being a beast. You get what I'm saying? Like literally, that's another way to frame it, right? You have an inner bitch, and then you have an inner beast, right? If you look at it from that perspective, you can begin to understand things on a different level. You get what I'm saying? Because each of us has this inner bitch and this inner beast. You have this inner enemy, and you have this inner savior. You have this inner hero, if you will, right? Where you're constantly making this choice between the two. So in this moment, if you're looking to grow and evolve and actually become the best version of yourself, that's what I'm about. That's why I go by the name Master myself. That's why I'm here creating the Master's Table. In order to create this dynamic that you truly desire to, continuously grow and evolve and be that reflection of yourself, the only way that you're going to do that is to constantly shift your focus and attention and consciousness in the direction of your evolution, right? So inside of yourself, oh, yes, sir, Brother Dominic Bell in the house. Inside of yourself, there's this constant conflict, this constant dynamic to where you're, constantly making this choice between light and dark, right? Good and evil, if you will, right? And so once again, when you're aware of this co-relationship, you are conscious of the way that you can, once again, shift your focus and attention and energy in that direction, right? And you want to focus on in order to overcome something or to advance in this life, to become exactly who it is that you want to become and do what you want to do, you're going to have to face, once again, these struggles. You're going to have to face the area and acquisition that you inquire when you're on your path, on your journey, right? Like this is, an expression of my hero's journey. Like when I first started doing the Master's Table, I was uncomfortable. You get what I'm saying? I wasn't as uncomfortable. I was tapped into this process that I'm on now, the beast process. However, it was uncomfortable getting in front of other people and sharing my thoughts and ideas. It was uncomfortable, knowing that, I was going to be sharing pieces of my process. It was uncomfortable. It wasn't, normal. You get what I'm saying? And the thing is, there's still only so many people that do this on a consistent basis, that are shining their light and putting themselves out and essentially challenging themselves to grow and become the version of themselves that, you can only become as a result of you putting yourself in that situation and circumstance where you're going to grow, you're going to evolve, you're going to shift into, the version of yourself that maybe you dreamed about or that you really wanted to be. You get what I'm saying? Like whatever your focus and intention is at this point in time, like when it comes to your path, your purpose, and your plan for your life, wherever your attention is, that's where your energy is going to flow, right? So once again, if you're putting your attention and consciousness in the direction of your enemy, then the interesting thing is that you don't have to try to do that, right? Based off of the way that our society is set up, based off the way that our culture is set up to program us to live in this state of entropy is the best way to phrase it for me, right? The law of entropy is, things that are left on its own and left to its own demise are literally going to desecrate. They're going to dissolve. They're going to be destroyed because of the fact that nobody is taking creative order. Nobody's instilling the order that you need in your life. You get what I'm saying? So, I'm a man that has instilled many different orders in my life, meaning like when I wake up, I have a routine. When I am shifting through my different aspects or different times in my life, that it's a structure, it's an order that's in place so that I can grow and I can evolve and I can become the version of myself that I really want to become and do what it is that I want to do in this life, right? And so in the path, in the direction of your personal evolution, I encourage you to really look inside of yourself and decide, like, yo, I have this inner space that I'm, creating, or I have this inner place that I'm not that I can be at war at, or war with, if you will, right? I can be at war with my inner self. And I believe this dynamic, this exchange of life is always happening, right? You're always in a place where you're facing the opportunity to become a bitch or become a beast, right? Like I said before, or to become your enemy, or to become the hero of your own life, right? And so whatever your path is, once again, that path, the way that you're going to get there is by constantly facing these objections objections, obstacles, right? I actually did a whole live yesterday on my personal channel that was talking about turning your obstacles, right, into opportunities, right? And why do we do that? Because we want to utilize these things that are necessarily challenges in our path or obstacles in our path. We want to utilize those to become that version of ourselves that I would want to look up to. Like I truly desire to become and live as the version of myself. And I say I desire it, but I believe I'm living that right now. As I am the version of myself that I wanted to be, or that I wanted to look up to, right? I am my own role model. I am my own example at this point in time. As to like, man, if I was to see myself 3 years ago and be like, damn, bro, I didn't know you was gonna be, running the base, or living on purpose, on process every single day, hosting daily beasting sessions, you know what I'm saying? Posting videos every single day, going live every single day, leading a base, you know what I'm saying? Constantly organizing these different things. Like I would have no idea what it is that I'm capable of. So in the same manner, I know that I look 3 years in the future from now and I say, yo, in 2026, I know I'm doing this, this, and that. You know what I'm saying? I'm aware of that because of the fact that I, every single day decide that I'm going to face my objections. I'm going to face the things that make me uncomfortable. You get what I'm saying? Not just myself, but make others uncomfortable. You get what I'm saying? To be around things like that, because that's how we're going to grow. That's how we're going to evolve. That's how we're going to shift in consciousness. That's how we're going to become the best version of ourselves by facing these obstacles, these challenges, and each of us has an opportunity every single day to right the challenges in our life, right? And that's the value of this process that we're on, right? I've been learning from AZD for, longer than 3 years. I've been learning from AZD since 2014, which is a long time. You get what I'm saying? I want to say, 9 years? And, there's been a lot of shifts in consciousness in terms of like how I've been learning, how I've been applying even. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of internal shifts, internal frames I've shifted and evolved into and things of that nature. That's the path. That's the process in which I'm on. However, I know that, there's no greater time than now to apply these philosophies and things of that nature. So, in every area, I'm looking to see, like, why am I in constant conflict, you know what I'm saying, with myself if I'm, consciously aware of, my internal process. I'm consciously aware of, these shifts that I'm going through on a day-to-day basis. You get what I'm saying? By, constantly having a process, constantly having a vision, constantly having a purpose for, the things in which I engage in on a day-to-day basis, right? So, this level of awareness comes from, putting yourself in the fire. It comes from, putting yourself in the limelight where you're forced to grow, you're forced to evolve and things of that nature. This forcing is done intentionally, right? And so I've been on this process. I've been on this path of evolution that requires me to face that inner enemy once again, right? And once again, the way to that I've seen, the way that's been working for me so far, in this life, like I said, I don't have all the answers. I'm out here figuring it out too. You know what I'm saying? I'm just sharing and documenting my process. I'm sharing my insights, things of that nature. So where I'm at right now, I see that like, my objective every single day is simply to shift from the enemy, right? The negativity that's happening on the inside. Like I said, it's important for it to be there because that's what creates the positivity. That's what creates the inner hero, right? As opposed to your inner enemy. Instead of focusing on that inner enemy, you're shifting your focus on focusing on your inner hero, your inner savior, right? The inner guy within you, right? As opposed to the inner devil, if you will, right? The inner beast instead of the inner bitch, right? Like there's this constant correlating to life once again that it allows you to establish a whole nother dynamic. You get what I'm saying, to your life and existence. So this carries on to your everyday experience when you're aware of this. And today, I've had several opportunities to, ditch out, if you will, and I've had many opportunities to just stay where I am and not grow and not evolve, things of that nature, and remain comfortable where I am, as opposed to showing up again. Yeah, and there's levels to it, right? There's obviously levels to it. I think I can even take it even further, right? But it's this constant awareness that I'm growing into, right? That happens as a result. It's a natural result of the AZD process. It's a natural result of, my personal process that I'm creating right now, right? That I call the master's process, where every single day I'm writing, every single day I'm growing in terms of how, I'm applying my philosophy and how I'm sharing that philosophy on a day-to-day basis, right? So, we do have Brother Diamond Ravel in the house. We want to open it up, man. If you got anything you want to say, I'm gonna check the YouTube and see if there's anybody on there as well that also wants to say anything. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and continue further, but I just want to present the opportunity. Let's see here. Make sure I got it turned down so I can hear myself. All right, cool. Man, it's next level. It's so dope, having your own TV show. It's so dope, what I'm saying, having the space to be able to create on a consistent basis. Like I said, I go live every single day, so I see this space as a very creative space. You know what I'm saying? A dynamic that I can continuously grow into. You know what I'm saying? Constantly facing my objections in life. And facing this opportunity like I was at war. You get what I'm saying? Because like imagine you were at war. Imagine if you had an enemy. You know what I'm saying? Would you move forward with hesitation? Would you go forward with uncertainty and thinking that things would play out this way and so on and so forth? As a result of you just showing up, like you expect your enemy to run away just because you showed up today? Like, no, like you have to go and face that enemy, if you will, right? If you were at war. So in the same manner, if inside, this is what's so valuable about this is this internal process. This is the kind of work that nobody else can do for you, right? So once again, your awareness of that allows you to be able to, consciously propel yourself in the direction of certain defeat. Like you're going to be defeated on the path of your victory, right? You're going to lose these many battles on the way of your winning the war. You get what I'm saying? And once again, this is your inner process. I'm providing insights as to how I perceive the inner reality, if you will, right? And this is a space that you can constantly co-create from. You get what I'm saying? What do I mean by that? You can constantly tap into the space where you're at war with yourself and speak from that space and shine some light for somebody else and be like, hey man, I struggled with I talked about more recently on my personal channel. I'm telling y'all gotta tap in, man. The self-code is where it's at. But more recently, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. No, it was yesterday. I was tapping a little bit, and I've said many different times, and I'll go into detail more. But I've talked about my struggles with addictions, if you will, in my past, right? I actually wrote a whole book about it. It's called Purpose Over Pleasure. That's one aspect of the book in itself. Within that book, I go in detail about my personal philosophies, things I've learned within IMC Nation, my daily routines, things like that. So y'all can definitely tap in on there. But what I'm saying is, one of my inner struggles has been every day it's a victory. You know what I'm saying? That I come back with, and I am I'm a testament for. I can give you a testimony to say that I've overcome my addictions, or every day, like I said, it's an addiction to overcome. But my addiction to pornography, my addiction to sex, my addiction to pleasure, really. You get what I'm saying? Because in so many different manners, we get pleasure from so many different things. You know what I'm saying? Like food for me is an immense pleasure. You get what I'm saying? I mean, of course, sex is it's immense pleasure for many people. You know what I'm saying? That's like the greatest pleasure. One of the greatest pleasures. You know what I'm saying? But food, I would say, it kind of takes the cake, or is one step above. You know what I'm saying? Sex, oftentimes, because it's actually a very similar process, right? Where having this correlationship with the thing in which you're putting into your body, right? Like the moment I drink this coconut water, my body is now receiving, right? So now it's in the process of receiving, what is being poured into my body. So there's this exchange that's taking place, right? And, once again, there's an awareness that comes when you're aware of, like, man, I'm getting all this pleasure from, this thing that I'm allowed, or I'm pointing to. Like I can say that, I want to give you a negative example. Let's say Kit Kats. Like Kit Kats, I used to tear up, or Reese's. I used to tear up some Kit Kat and some Reese's like nobody's business. You understand me? Like I used to, like my grandma actually was the one that put me on to Kit Kats, right? So I used to love, tapping into some Kit Kats, if you will. The moment that I became aware, though, that was a pleasure that was not benefiting me, it was just simply for the purpose of me being in pleasure or enjoying, right, that candy or that food, if you will. Aside from that playing its part there, what other reason do I have to put that into my body? It's serving me no other purpose. In fact, it's taken away from the nutrients that I have in my body, or the nutrients that I may be added to my body earlier in the day. You understand me? Whereas opposed to like I said, like this coconut water or a mango is going to actually provide me more nutrients. It's going to allow me to go deeper into, and extract the nutrients of that, right? Same thing with sex. Like if I am to abstain from that, right, for a certain amount of time, or not engage in that activity mindlessly, meaning that I'm interacting with somebody else, and that person I'm interacting with is just a one night stand, or it's just a one time type of thing, or even if it's just a relationship that's simply based off the fact that I just want to feel good. I just want to fuck this bitch. I just want to connect with her on this level, and so on and so forth. Okay, great. That is what it is. But how do we go deeper? How do we extract the true value of that co-relationship there? Is there a co-relationship there? Are you just interacting with anybody? Are you just engaging with life in that manner just because that's what you've been conditioned and programmed to do? Or are you consciously living in that experience? Are you consciously developing yourself? Are you consciously, moving with intention and authority in your life, knowing that like, yo, I'm the one that's setting my path. I'm the one that's moving towards my evolution and moving towards what it is that I want. Because once again, look, I'm all about growth and evolving, evolution. I'm all about becoming the best version of myself. So I got to continuously find these different areas and aspects where I can continuously push myself to grow and get past that negative, perception of myself, or that enemy that I have within me, right? So once again, I mean, to defeat that inner enemy, it's going to require you to go deep and pull within and really understand your own energy. Like when you understand your energy to the level that, you're not willing to exchange it with just anybody. When you understand that, your energy is going to come from the things in which you put into your body, and you're conscious of the things you're putting into your body. Then you have a different level of awareness. Then you have, something to couple the fact that you say you want to overcome your negativity. You want to overcome your once again, your inner enemy. Like, kind of coupling the understanding of negativity and your inner enemy in the same manner. Because your inner hero, your inner savior, the God, the light within you, right, is not caught up, you get what I'm saying, in experiencing life from the negative aspect. No, that's just not where we're at. We are the evolution of that. Because why? We've shifted our consciousness, we shifted our attention and energy towards the light. This is a very, creative space, because this is the place where you define your true character. This is how you decide that this is who you want to be, this is what you want to do, and so on and so forth. You go within yourself and you figure out, you line up the inner mechanics, you line up your chakras, if you will. You get what I'm saying? And you clear out all the blockages that you may have within yourself. The blockages constantly just rooted in the negativity that you have within yourself. And, whatever that dynamic or whatever it is that you become aware of from the inside, You learn how to clear out the inside so that you can better correlate to the outside. Because look, nobody else is going to do that work for you. Nobody else is going to defeat the negative image that you have of yourself. It's your responsibility. And again, you have an ability to respond to life. You don't have to stay the same. You don't have to stay where you are. You can shift and evolve and choose to grow because of the fact that you say, like, yo, I actually want to choose, or I actually want to grow and evolve today. I don't want to be the same. I don't want to, experience life the way that I've been experiencing my whole life, or experience life the way that everybody else is. I actually want to change and evolve and grow and become that best version of me. I want to defeat my inner enemy. If that's the case, then you've got to shift your consciousness, and you got to know and understand, like, yo, I actually can spend my time consciously on growing and evolving. Like every single moment is another moment that you can couple your experience of life. You can couple your experience with life as a benefit, right? Or a benefactor, or as what am I trying to say? Let's see here. You can create an experience that is proportionate to your inner image, right? Your inner image of your inner hero, right? Not the inner bitch, once again. The beast version of yourself, the best version of you. You can have that. If nobody else told you, let me be the one to tell you. You can have that. You can live from that perspective. You can have exactly what it is that you want in this life. The only person that's stopping you from that is yourself. And that's because you're constantly in this conflict of, like, man, I want to do this and I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to have this. I want to have this experience. I want to live life this way, and so on and so forth. Okay, great. But what is it going to take, or who do you have to become? Is a better question. Who do you have to become in order for you to have that level of experience? What is it that you have to do that backs up who it is that you say you want to become? This becomes clear when you are constantly aware of this dynamic that's happening within you, right? And it's so powerful, So once again, I'll open it up, see if there's anything else that is there to be said. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and shift into the meditative moment, and then I'm gonna go ahead and close out for today, man. Been a powerful session for myself. Hopefully of value to you. You know what I'm saying? If you tapped in here. IMC TV is up to 213 subscribers, so that's dope. We've been creating for since the beginning of the year, so we're here 5 months in, and looking to expand it even more. All right. Cool. So at this moment in time, what I enjoy doing every single, actually, I think I missed a couple episodes where we didn't take an opportunity to sit down and meditate and tap in, things like that. So I like to create that space, right? Where we sit down, we meditate, and, we just basically create a space within you to where you can tap into your inner world, right? This inner space, once again, that I've been speaking on all episodes all day today. So if you're in a place and you're able, or even if you are not, and you're like Brother Diamond, I believe, is driving right now. So if you're in that space and just have this inner experience as close as possible to it, as you are experiencing your life and things of that nature, you need to keep your eyes open. But if not, if you're in a place to close your eyes, and go ahead and close your eyes, and we're gonna tap into our inner space, our inner world, as we go ahead and prepare to close out. This is what I call a meditative moment. This is a moment in time where you just take some time to go inside of yourself and really enjoy your inner experience, right? And now being aware of this light and dark that's constantly happening within you. You can, at this point in time, when you are looking within, you actually know and understand that in order to look within, it takes light. It takes your consciousness, right? Your consciousness is the light within the darkness. So now you can shine the light exactly where it is that you want. You can close your eyes. Let's take a deep breath. Deep breathe in through your nose and let it out through your mouth. Feel your inner peace start to shift and come out to your outside world. Take another deep breath in through your nose. Feeling the lungs and then breathing out and letting go. Feeling your body relax even more, your mind at ease, your muscles relax, your jaw, your temple, your eyebrows, your eyes, your nose, all relax, your mouth relax. All the muscles in your body start to relax. And you're letting go of the external world, shifting your light, your consciousness to your internal experience. Take another deep breath in through your nose. Settle your mind, relax. At this point in time, take a moment to appreciate the fact that you have your own inner space. Sanctify your space. This is a space that's so unique to you. Nobody else can do anything in this space except for you. This is a place where everything is created from. So make yourself familiar. If you've never done this before, welcome home. This is your inner place. This is your inner space. You want this to be a place of peace, a place of harmony, a place of congruency, where you recognize you. And you always remember nobody else has access to this space. So that's why it's sacred. Take another deep breath in through your nose. And relax. Get a clear image of your future self, your higher self. What's it feel like to be you? How fly are you? How truthful are you? How dedicated are you? How disciplined are you? How sharp are you? How clear are you on your purpose, on your vision, your plan for your life? Taking another deep breath in and letting it out. The space within yourself, once again, nobody else has access to. Make yourself most familiar with your vision, your environments. See yourself doing exactly what it is that you want to do on a day-to-day basis. Living exactly how you want. Stress-free, clear-headed, focused, living on purpose every single moment, dedicated to this process, to your process. Taking another deep breath in and letting it out. Enjoy the next 2 minutes of peace before we close out. We come to the final 30 seconds of this practice. Once again, take a moment to sanctify your inner space, appreciate yourself. We're taking the time to consciously direct yourself, direct your attention, your focus, and your energy on a place within you that nobody else has access to. This is your place of power. This is where everything originates from, whether you believe it or not. And within this space is your place to consciously evolve and grow and ultimately exist as the best version of yourself, because nobody else can do you the way that you can do you. So as you open your eyes to your external world, remember that nobody else has the responsibility like you do to respond to life and ultimately exist and express yourself as the best version of yourself. All right. So it's always an honor to tap in here. Like I say, if anybody is interested in joining the Master's Table, I will leave a link here in the description. I got to catch up on the descriptions for these shows, but I will leave a link here in these descriptions so that you can join. You can directly join the Telegram group that we have. Also, I have several different groups that are in creation. If you're a Black man within IMC Nation and you want to participate with us for our movement, it's called the IMC Black Panthers. We had a meeting yesterday and it was very powerful. Moving with new intentions there. And, a lot of creation is happening there. So I will leave a link there for you as well. And let's see. I have another group. It's called the Daily Disciples. My brother Diamond here is also a part of that. He's also a part of Black Panthers. And that is a space where we're every single day, daily creating and sharing pieces of our process and constantly evolving, growing together as well. So I encourage you to tap in. We have daily beasting sessions that are taking place as well. What is daily beasting? It's daily calisthenics. It's a daily program of accountability. Obviously sharpening your mind and your body. My body's been changing and evolving, and the brothers that have been tapping in there as well have also been changing and evolving. So there's a lot of things that are going on within IMC Nation. I encourage you to participate as much as possible. We have the Origins Camp as well. It's also available to you. And then, I have several products or lectures, if you will, that have been the foundation of the process in which I live on a day-to-day basis and from phase one. So I'll be talking a lot more of those or about those on this show and going into the depth and the detail of, how that can translate into your day-to-day experience and, what value that can be for you. All right. So like I said, as always, IMC Nation, be the best and fuck the rest. Knowledge of self is knowledge of wealth. It's the one and only. That's for myself tapping out. Salute.